My name is Elena Martinez, and I'm 26 years old. The day my family told me to earn my place at the table, we were sitting in my late grandfather's study. Dark wood paneling. Leather furniture. The smell of old books and cigar smoke that still lingered 6 months after his death. My mother sat in Grandpa's chair like she'd been born to it. My older sister Vanessa sat on the arm of the sofa, scrolling through her phone. My Aunt Patricia stood by the window, arms crossed, looking out at the garden Grandpa had spent 40 years cultivating. I sat across from them. Waiting. The family meeting had been called by my mother. Urgent, she'd said. Estate matters that needed immediate attention. Mom began. Her voice was crisp and businesslike. Elena, we need to discuss your expectations regarding your grandfather's estate. I don't have expectations, I replied. Good. Because entitlement is unattractive. Your grandfather built something significant. Vanessa and I have been managing his affairs. Patricia has been overseeing the properties. We've been doing the work. I understand. Do you? Because your grandfather had a soft spot for you. Spoiled you, frankly. But affection doesn't equal contribution. We're establishing clear roles going forward. Vanessa looked up from her phone. What Mom's trying to say is you haven't earned anything yet. You need to prove you're capable of handling responsibility. I have a job. I pay my own rent. I'm financially independent. As a teacher, Vanessa said. The word sounded like an insult. Making what, $42,000 a year? That's not exactly wealth building. It's honest work. It's barely a career, Mom corrected. Elena, your grandfather owned commercial properties worth millions. Vanessa works in real estate. She understands the business. Patricia manages investments. I handle legal affairs. What do you contribute? I sat there, hands folded in my lap. Knowing where this was going. Feeling the familiar weight of being measured and found insufficient. I taught Grandpa's literacy students. Every Tuesday for 3 years. He funded the program. I ran it. Charity work, Aunt Patricia said without turning around. Admirable. But not business experience. Your grandfather had a generous heart. But generosity in life doesn't translate to inheritance after death. The estate will be divided based on contribution. Vanessa has been managing his properties. Patricia has been growing his investments. I've been handling legal matters. You've been teaching children to read. He asked me to teach them. He said it mattered. Sentimentality matters in life. Pragmatism matters in death. We're not saying you receive nothing, Elena. We're saying you need to earn your share. Prove you can handle responsibility. Work with Vanessa. Learn the business. Show us you're capable. Vanessa smiled. Think of it as an extended interview. You work under me. If you perform well, you get a stake. If not, well, at least you tried. I looked at my mother. The woman who had always compared me unfavorably to Vanessa. Who had made it clear my entire life that I was the disappointing daughter. The one who chose teaching over law school. Service over status. What if I don't want to earn my place? What if I just want what Grandpa intended for me? Mom's smile was cold. Then you'll be disappointed. Your grandfather loved you, Elena. But he was also practical. He knew you'd need guidance. Protection from your own poor choices. That's why he put us in charge. He put you in charge of what? Everything. The estate. The properties. The decisions. We're the executors. We determine distributions. And we've determined you need to prove yourself. First. The words settled over me like ice. They had positioned themselves between Grandpa and his wishes. Between me and whatever he had wanted me to have. Does the will actually say that? That I have to earn my inheritance. The will gives us discretion to determine fitness and capability. We're exercising that discretion. That's not what discretion means. Don't be difficult, Elena. We're trying to help you. Discipline is better than indulgence. Structure better than sentiment. Your grandfather spoiled you with affection. We're balancing that with reality. I wanted to argue. To demand to see the actual will. To call a lawyer. But I was exhausted. Years of being the family disappointment had worn me down. Fine. What do you want me to do? Report to Vanessa Monday morning. She'll assign you tasks. Administrative work initially. Filing. Data entry. We'll see how you handle responsibility. Filing. Data entry. Tasks designed to humiliate. To remind me of my place. Is there anything else? That's all. You can go. I stood. Started toward the door. Then stopped. Did Grandpa leave any personal items for me? Letters? Anything? Mom waved her hand dismissively. We're still cataloging personal effects. If anything was designated for you specifically, we'll let you know. I left the study. Walked through the house Grandpa had loved. Past the library where we'd spent countless afternoons. Past the kitchen where he'd taught me to make his mother's recipes. Past the garden where we'd planted tomatoes together every spring. Everything felt wrong. Empty. Like his absence had turned the house into a museum of what used to be. I drove home to my studio apartment. Made tea. Sat on my worn couch. And cried. Not for the inheritance. For the man who had seen me. Who had valued what I did. Who had never made me feel small for choosing service over profit. He was gone. And in his absence, my family had decided I was worthless. People think teaching is easy. It's not. Teaching is showing up for people who have been failed by systems designed to help them. Teaching is patience. Repetition. Celebrating tiny victories that feel monumental. 3 years ago, Grandpa called me. He said he'd met a woman at the senior center. Rosa. She was 73. Could not read. Too ashamed to admit it. Spent her whole life hiding, pretending, getting by on memorization and luck. I want to help her, Grandpa said. But I don't know how. You do. You're a teacher. Could you teach her? I met Rosa the next week. She was nervous. Embarrassed. Convinced she was too old to learn. I'm stupid, she said. Too stupid to learn now. You're not stupid. You were failed by a system that should have taught you. But it's not too late. We met every Tuesday. 1 hour. Started with basics. Letters. Sounds. Simple words. Progress was slow. Rosa cried often. Frustrated by her own brain. By how hard it was to decode symbols everyone else took for granted. But she kept coming. Week after week. And slowly, painfully, she learned. 6 months in, she read her first sentence. Out loud. A simple children's book about a cat. She cried. I cried. Grandpa, who had been funding our sessions and quietly sitting in the corner, cried too. I read it, Rosa whispered. I actually read it. You did. You're a reader now. After that, word spread. More people came. Adults who had hidden their illiteracy for decades. Immigrants navigating a language built on different rules. People the system had failed. Grandpa paid for everything. Materials. Books. Space at the community center. He attended every session. Sat in the back. Watched his granddaughter teach people to do something he had taken for granted his whole life. I'm proud of you, he told me once. This matters more than anything else I've built. You built a lot. Properties. Businesses. Wealth. I built things. You build people. There's a difference. My mother called it charity. Said I was wasting my potential. That if I had gone to law school like she wanted, I could be making real money. Grandpa called it legacy. Said teaching was the only work that echoed through generations. After he died, I kept the Tuesday sessions going. Funded them myself. My teacher's salary barely covered it, but I could not stop. These people depended on me. Rosa had read 3 full books now. Was working on her driver's test study guide. At 74, she was finally going to get her license. Your grandpa would be proud, she told me last week. I hope so. He loved you. Talked about you constantly. Said you were his favorite. That made me cry. Because he had never said that to my face. Never wanted to create divisions. But somehow, Rosa had known. The Tuesday before the family meeting, I taught 7 students. Rosa. Miguel, a 50-year-old construction worker learning English. Jean, a grandmother from Korea navigating Medicare paperwork. 4 others, each with their own story. Their own shame. Their own courage. These were my people. The ones I had chosen. The ones who would never call me a disappointment because I was not making enough money. They were also the reason I could not afford to fight my family. Could not afford lawyers. Could not afford to challenge the way they were manipulating Grandpa's estate. I needed to keep teaching. That meant keeping expenses low. That meant accepting whatever scraps my family decided to throw me. Even if it meant earning my place through humiliation. Monday morning, I reported to Vanessa's office. Glass. Chrome. Expensive art on the walls. The kind of space designed to intimidate. You're late, she said without looking up from her computer. I'm 3 minutes early. I expected you 10 minutes early. That's professional. I did not respond. Just stood there. Waiting. Your tasks are basic. Filing. Data entry. Client coffee orders. Think of yourself as an assistant. Prove you can handle simple responsibilities before we trust you with complex ones. I have a master's degree in education. Which qualifies you to teach children. Not manage properties worth millions. She handed me a stack of folders. Alphabetize these. Then input the data into this spreadsheet. Should take most of the day. I took the folders. Found an empty desk in the corner. Started working. The tasks were insulting. Busy work a high schooler could handle. But I did them. Carefully. Perfectly. Gave Vanessa no excuse to criticize. At lunch, she called me into her office. You missed the Henderson file. 3rd drawer. Alpha order includes middle names. I had not missed it. She had hidden it. Testing me. Waiting for failure. I'll add it now. No need. I already did it. But Elena, attention to detail matters. If you can't handle filing, how will you handle anything important? I can handle it. Prove it. That became the pattern. Tasks designed to humiliate. Hidden challenges. Constant criticism. Vanessa enjoyed it. Enjoyed watching me struggle. Enjoyed reminding me daily that I did not belong. I endured it for 2 weeks. Then, on a Wednesday afternoon, everything changed. I was at my corner desk, inputting numbers into a spreadsheet, when the receptionist's voice came over the intercom. Vanessa, there's an attorney here. Gregory Hartwell. Says he needs to speak with the Martinez family about Samuel Martinez's estate. Vanessa's face tightened. Send him to the conference room. And Elena, You should come too. We walked down the hall together. Vanessa's heels clicking. My cheap flats silent. Into a glass-walled conference room where Mom and Aunt Patricia were already waiting. Gregory Hartwell was older. 60s. Silver hair. Expensive suit. He carried a leather briefcase and something else. A wooden box. About the size of a shoebox. Sealed with a brass lock. Thank you for seeing me on short notice. I'm handling a final matter regarding Samuel Martinez's estate. Mom frowned. We already settled the estate. 6 months ago. What matter? A sealed directive. Your father left specific instructions that this box be delivered to Elena Martinez exactly 6 months after his death. No sooner. No later. Today is that day. Everyone turned to look at me. A box? Mom said. What box? I don't know the contents. I was instructed to deliver it unopened. With this letter. He handed me an envelope. My name in Grandpa's handwriting. My hands shook as I took it. What is this? Open the letter. Your grandfather wanted you to read it with your family present. I broke the seal. Unfolded the paper. Grandpa's words in his careful script. My dearest Elena. If you're reading this, 6 months have passed. I'm gone. And I suspect your mother and sister have made your life difficult. I know them. I know how they measure worth. I know they've probably told you to earn your place, to prove yourself, to accept less than you deserve. I'm sorry for that. Sorry I can't be there to protect you from their judgment. But I can give you something they can't take. Something they can't manipulate or control. In this box is a key. And documents. Proof of what I actually wanted. What I actually did. You don't have to earn anything, Elena. You already earned it. Every Tuesday. Every student. Every life you touched. That's worth more than all the properties and investments combined. The key unlocks a safety deposit box at First National Bank. Box 247. Inside, you'll find my real will. The one I never told your mother about. The one that gives you what you actually deserve. I love you. I'm proud of you. And I'm sorry I had to do it this way. But sometimes, the only way to protect someone you love is to plan for betrayal. Use what I've given you wisely. And keep teaching. The world needs more people who build others up instead of tearing them down. Love always, Grandpa. The room was silent. I looked up. Mom's face had gone pale. Vanessa looked stunned. Aunt Patricia had her hand over her mouth. What does it say? Mom demanded. What did he leave you? A key. And the truth. Gregory set the wooden box on the table. Miss Martinez, this is yours. I've fulfilled my obligation. The safety deposit box your grandfather mentioned is accessible with the key and proper identification. Wait. Wait. There's no other will. We're the executors. We handled everything. You handled the will he filed with you. Apparently, there was another one. One he kept private. I don't know the contents. I was not his estate attorney. I was simply hired to deliver this box at the specified time. Mom turned to me. Elena, be reasonable. Whatever's in that box, whatever he left, we should handle it together. As a family. Like you handled the estate these past 6 months. Making me file paperwork and fetch coffee to earn my place. That was for your own good. It was cruelty. You know it. He knew it. That's why he did this. Vanessa stood. This is insane. Dad could not have hidden assets. We went through everything. Apparently not everything. Mom's voice hardened. Elena, don't open that box. Not until we've had time to review this legally. There are implications. I'm opening it. I pulled the box toward me. The brass lock had a keyhole. But attached to the side was a small envelope. I opened it. Inside, a tiny key. My hands shook as I inserted it. Turned it. Heard the click. Inside the box was a larger key. Bank documents. Property deeds. Stock certificates. And a USB drive labeled, "For Elena, the real will." "What is all this?" I whispered. Gregory glanced at the documents. "It appears to be your inheritance. Transferred to your name years ago. Hidden from your family until now." Mom reached for the papers. I pulled them away. "No. These are mine. Grandpa left them to me. Not to you. Elena. No. You told me to earn my place. You made me feel small. You treated me like I was worthless because I chose teaching over profit. But Grandpa saw me. Really saw me. And he protected me from you. I gathered everything. Put it back in the box. Stood up. Thank you, Mr. Hartwell. I'll visit the bank tomorrow. Wait. We need to discuss this as a family. We're done discussing. You made your choices. Now you live with them." I walked out. Carrying the box. Leaving my family in that glass room. Stunned. Silent. For the first time in years, I felt powerful. That night, I sat in my apartment, staring at the box. Afraid to hope. Afraid to believe Grandpa had actually protected me from my family's manipulation. The USB drive sat on my coffee table. Waiting. I plugged it into my laptop. One file. Video. Dated 2 years ago. I clicked play. Grandpa appeared on screen. Sitting in his study. Looking healthy. Strong. Before the cancer. "Hello, sweetheart. If you're watching this, I'm gone. And based on what I know about your mother and sister, they've probably made these past 6 months hell." I laughed through tears. "I'm sorry for that. I should have been clearer with them while I was alive. But I was a coward. Did not want conflict. Thought maybe they'd surprise me. Be better than I feared. Based on you watching this, I was wrong." He shifted in his chair. "Here's what they don't know. 5 years ago, I started transferring assets into your name. Quietly. Carefully. Properties. Investments. Accounts. Not everything. But enough. Your mother and Vanessa got the flashy stuff. The main properties. The business holdings. Things that make them feel important." Another pause. "You got the foundation. The passive income. The security. 3 rental properties generating steady revenue. Investment accounts set to grow. Enough that you never have to worry about money. Never have to compromise your teaching. Never have to earn your place." He leaned closer to the camera. "You don't owe them anything, Elena. Not gratitude. Not deference. Not your dignity. They measured your worth in dollars and found you lacking. I measured your worth in lives touched. In Tuesdays spent teaching. In the way Rosa lights up when she reads. In the legacy you're building that will outlast any property I ever owned." Tears streamed down my face. The key in the box opens Safety Deposit Box 247. Inside, you'll find the legal documents. Titles. Deeds. Everything transferred legally years ago. Your mother can't challenge it. She can't touch it. It's yours. It was always yours. He smiled. That warm smile I missed so much. Use it well. Keep teaching. Keep building people up. And Elena? Stop letting them make you small. You're the best thing I ever helped create. Not because of genetics. Because of choices. You chose kindness when they chose judgment. You chose service when they chose status. You chose to matter in ways that actually matter. The video ended. I sat there in the darkness. Crying. Laughing. Feeling like Grandpa was still there. Still protecting me. Still seeing me when everyone else looked away. The next morning, I went to the bank. Retrieved the safety deposit box. Inside, just as he had promised, were legal documents. Property titles. 3 rental properties in my name. Investment accounts. Approximately $2.3 million in total assets. I was not rich. Not compared to what my mother and Vanessa controlled. But I was secure. Free. Protected. I called the property management company Grandpa had used. Arranged for them to handle my rentals. The income was enough to cover my expenses. To fund the Tuesday students. To teach without worrying about every dollar. Then I did something I had been too afraid to do for 6 months. I quit working for Vanessa. Sent one text. I won't be returning. Thank you for the opportunity. Her response came immediately. You're making a mistake. You'll regret this. I blocked her number. My mother showed up at my apartment 3 days later. Did not call first. Just knocked. I opened the door. She stood there, perfectly dressed, perfectly composed. We need to talk. Do we? Elena, please. Can I come in? Against my better judgment, I let her inside. She looked around my small space. The worn furniture. The stacks of books. The student papers on my kitchen table. You went to the bank. I did. Your grandfather left you properties. Investments. Did you know about them? Not until the box. Why would he hide that from us? From me? I sat down on my couch. You really don't know. Know what? Why he did not trust you with the truth. Why? He had to protect me from you. Mom's face tightened. That's unfair. Is it? You told me to earn my place. Made me file paperwork. Treated me like I was worthless. Why? To teach you. To teach me what? That my worth is conditional. That I have to perform for love. That's not what I was doing. Then what were you doing, Mom? She was quiet for a long moment. Protecting you. From what? From expecting things you did not earn. From entitlement. From thinking the world owes you something because your grandfather loved you. The world does not owe me anything. But neither do you get to decide what Grandpa wanted for me. He made his choices. Legal choices. Years ago. You cannot override them. I could challenge. You could try. But you will not win. And in the process, you'll destroy what's left of our relationship. Is that what you want? Mom sat down slowly. I don't know what I want. I'm angry. Hurt. Your grandfather trusted you more than he trusted me. Yes. He did. Why? Because I never made him prove his worth. Never made him earn my love. Never measured him in dollars and found him insufficient. She flinched. You did that to me, Mom. My whole life. Nothing I did was ever good enough because it was not what you wanted. Teaching was not enough. Service was not enough. Making a difference was not enough. You wanted me to be Vanessa. I never was. I never will be. I just wanted you to be secure. I am secure. Because Grandpa saw what you could not. That security is not just financial. It's knowing someone values you for who you actually are. We sat in silence. The distance between us felt like miles. What happens now? I don't know. That's up to you. What do you mean? You can accept that Grandpa made his choice. That I have resources now. That I don't need you to provide or approve or manage my life. And maybe, slowly, we rebuild something real. Or you can fight this. Challenge it. Make this ugly. And lose me completely. That's not fair. Fair? You have been unfair to me for 26 years. This is just consequences. Mom stood. Gathered her purse. I need time to think. Take all the time you need. She walked to the door. Paused. Did he say anything about me? In the video? He said you measured worth in dollars. That you'd probably made these past 6 months hell. He was right. She left without another word. 6 months after opening Grandpa's box, my life looked different. I still taught full-time. Still ran the Tuesday literacy program. But now I had expanded it. Hired 2 more teachers. Opened sessions on Thursdays and Saturdays. Funded it completely from my rental income. Rosa had passed her driver's test. Cried when she showed me her license. Said her grandkids did not believe she had actually done it. Miguel was reading English novels now. Applying for foreman positions. Finally able to advocate for himself at work. Jean had navigated Medicare. Set up her prescriptions. Was teaching her friends what she had learned. The impact rippled. Each person I taught went out and touched other lives. It was not flashy. Was not profitable. But it was real. My mother and I had not spoken since that day in my apartment. Vanessa sent a few angry texts, then went silent. Aunt Patricia called once, asking if we could work something out. I declined. I was not interested in working things out. I was interested in peace. One Tuesday, a new student arrived. Young woman. Early 20s. Nervous. I'm Sophia. I heard about this program from my grandmother. She said you taught her to read. Rosa Martinez? My heart jumped. Rosa's your grandmother? Yes. She talks about you constantly. Says you changed her life. I'm here because I want to do what you do. Teach adults. Help people who have been failed by the system. Will you teach me how? I looked at this eager young woman. Saw myself at her age. Before life had worn me down. Before my family had convinced me I was not enough. I'd be honored. Over the next few months, Sophia shadowed me. Learned my methods. Started teaching her own small group. Had a gift for it. Patience. Empathy. The ability to see people instead of problems. You're a natural, I told her. I'm learning from the best. One evening, after our Tuesday session, Rosa pulled me aside. I need to tell you something. About your grandfather. What about him? The last time I saw him, before he got really sick, he asked me what you had taught me. I told him. Reading. But also dignity. Respect. The belief that I was not too old or too stupid to learn. You were never stupid. I know that now. Because of you. And I told him that. He cried. Said that's exactly what he had hoped. That you would teach people they were valuable. That you would build them up instead of tearing them down. He said that. Yes. And he said something else. He said his daughter would never understand what you did. That she measured things wrong. But that you measured things right. And he was going to make sure you had the freedom to keep doing it. I wiped my eyes. Thank you for telling me. He loved you. So much. Was so proud. I thought you should know. That night, I drove to the cemetery. Had not been since the funeral. Could not face it before. But now I was ready. I sat by Grandpa's grave. Talked to him like he was still there. You were right. Mom made those 6 months hell. But you protected me. Gave me exactly what I needed. Not what I wanted. What I needed. The freedom to do work that matters without worrying about survival. The wind rustled through the trees. Rosa's granddaughter is learning to teach. Miguel's applying for foreman. Jin's helping her friends. It's working. What we started. It's growing. Making a difference. More wind. Peaceful. Gentle. I miss you. Every day. But I feel you. In the work. In the choices. In the way I measure worth now. You taught me that. Not through lectures. Through example. I placed flowers on his grave. Thank you, Grandpa. For seeing me. For protecting me. For loving me enough to plan for betrayal. I will not waste it. Promise.